the dance of a deeper explanation. The middle way. Imagine spending your entire life searching for a single answer, an answer so important that everything hinges on it. Your happiness, your future, even your next life. Now, imagine finally closing in on that answer and realizing that the two most popular solutions everyone has been following for centuries were built on the exact same mistake. Welcome to the Buddha's first discourse. Welcome to the birth of the middle way. For generations before the Buddha, seekers agreed on one thing. The cycle of death and rebirth had to be broken. Everyone wanted out. But how to get out? That was the debate. And by the Buddha's time, two paths dominated the conversation. The first was the pursuit of sensual pleasure. The logic went like this. If you can gather enough pleasure, refine it, extend it, and finally satiate it, maybe you could secure a permanent release from its clutches. A perfect life. Maybe even a perfect self. And from that vantage point, maybe you gain the merit necessary to break the cycle of death and rebirth. The second path took the exact opposite angle. Self-mortification. If the body and its cravings are the problem, then deprive it, deny it, break it, starve it into submission. Peel away everything that tempts, distracts, or delights. What remains, they thought, must be pure, permanent, untouchable. The self refined into something eternal. Two paths, two strategies, yet both driven by the same desperate hope. That permanent purity needed to break the cycle was possible, if you pushed hard enough. But here's what the Buddha discovered. Both paths depended on the same mistaken assumption. Both depended on the notion of a persistent self. One sought to gratify it. The other sought to deprive it. But both assumed that a persistent self was there, stable, enduring, purifiable. And both paths failed for the exact same reason. Pleasure and pain fade. Circumstances shift. The self shifts. In short, everything changes. And if everything changes, then nothing can grant the permanence these paths were chasing, no matter how satiated the pleasure, no matter how extreme the austerity. After years of witnessing and practicing both lifestyles, first as a pampered prince, then as a starving ascetic, the Buddha saw the deeper truth. Liberation doesn't come from manipulating experience. It comes from understanding it. And that insight becomes the cornerstone of the middle way. The middle way isn't a compromise. It's not a little pleasure, a little pain. It's a whole new angle, an entirely different way of relating to life. It starts by recognizing that all conditioned things are impermanent, including the very idea of an enduring self. And when you see that directly, not as a belief but as a realization, something remarkable happens. You stop clinging. You stop chasing pleasure. You stop fearing pain. You stop trying to harden the self into something permanently pure. The middle way is not about perfection. It's about clarity, And it falls out of the Four Noble Truths, the Buddha's deeper explanation. First, the truth of suffering. Second, the truth of craving as its cause. Third, the truth that suffering has an end. And fourth, the path that leads to that end. In his first discourse, the Buddha isn't just rejecting two extremes, he's redefining the entire problem. He reveals that liberation doesn't come from manipulating experiences, but from understanding their nature. Not from stabilizing the self, but from seeing through the illusion of permanence. That's the dance of a deeper explanation. A movement from seeking to seeing, from clinging to clarity, from the mistaken pursuit of permanence, to the awakened recognition of inevitable change. The middle way isn't the middle between two paths. It's the path that sees why the first two could never work. And that's why the moment it was spoken, liberation became, finally, possible.